Tiger Woods has shown that to be the best golfer in the world, you have to make sacrifices. No, the gods of golf don't need your GOAT. But you have to give your time, your body, and essentially your life to become the GOAT. As the face of golf, Tiger has had to wear two hats. The minute he rose to the top of the game, he automatically became golf's global spokesperson. He had to be the man with all the answers. Now, in the twilight of his career, plagued by injuries, golf is missing Tiger's enormous presence. But thanks to this guy, Tiger's absence has not been too difficult to deal with. Even Tiger has been blown away by the achievements of his successor.
Rory is the true leader out here on tour. The fact that he's actually able to...
Rory McIlroy has learned from Tiger to lead from the front, or the top in his case. And Tiger must be relieved to see someone doing some of the heavy lifting for him. He's actually used to that, but you get it. For many years, Rory's career path created doubts about his future. He had started out spectacularly. After winning the Quail Hollow Championship in his rookie year, Rory followed it up with 4 majors over the next 4 years. But in 2015, in a very weird turn of events, just weeks away from defending his Open Championship, the world number 1 ruptured a ligament during a kickabout with friends. Rory's little frolic didn't only break his leg, but also the hearts of his fans. His left foot was never the same after that. To make matters worse, as many predicted, his game was never the same again. And ever since, he's been fighting to regain his balance. Seems he lost his footing during his climb to the top. Then in 2017, Rory lost a playoff to Graham Storm at the South African Open. Graham surely deserved his win even as the world's number 251 at the time. The question is, would he have won if Rory hadn't played through a fractured rib? The injury wasn't discovered until the day after the tournament, and it forced Rory to take a break from golf. He tried to rush his recovery, but he realized he was only doing more damage to his body. So he lost most of 2017 to his rehabilitation from that injury. Rory has lost time and ability to his injuries, but one thing he never lost was his self-belief. 2022 was his revenant year. He returned from an unplanned hiatus with a big bang, enough to blow the minds of everyone who watched him in his explosive year. The year had started awfully for McIlroy. As if 4 top 13 finishes and a T33 at the Players' Championship weren't bad enough, Rory crowned it with a missed cut at the Valero Texas Open. 2022 wasn't going to be Rory's year for sure. Many doubted he could resurrect a year that was dead on arrival, and his doubters had every reason to write him off. After all, he'd not won a major in 8 years, and he'd opened the year so unimpressively. But if you called it that early, you should know you were very wrong. McIlroy would find his mojo at Augusta. Truly, major tournaments have a different energy about them, and Rory confirmed it. He shocked the world when he came within inches of a green jacket. At the end of the 4th round, it took a solid game from Scottie Scheffler to keep Rory 3 strokes behind him in 2nd place. And that was the key to his year. Everyone had started 2022 in January, but Rory waited till April. Sometimes it takes some time to shake off all that Christmas whining and dining. Rory was a favorite again. Pundits who formerly overlooked him put him back in the conversations. Rory was like a Harry Potter finding his magic again, and his play wasn't far from spellbinding. He tasted his first victory at the RBC Canadian Open in June. Then, in August, he bagged his biggest win of the year. For the 3rd time, he was named FedEx Cup champion. Scottie Scheffler was ahead with 6 points, and again, the tall Texan fought to hold his advantage. But this time, Rory refused to leave without his Tour Championship trophy or the $18 million fortune that came with it. For his 3rd and last victory of 2022, Rory defended his CJ Cup trophy to reclaim his world number 1 spot for the 9th time. By the end of the year, he looked very different from the guy at the Valero Texas Open. He wasn't sporting a Mr. T-styled mohawk or wearing a nose ring. His numbers were just fantastic. So fantastic that he said this after his CJ Cup victory. If someone had told me on the Friday night of the Valero Texas Open when I missed the cut that I would be the world number 1 by October, I would have asked them what they were smoking, because I would not have believed them. Here's something you won't believe. After the disappointment in San Antonio, Rory finished top 8 in 13 of his next 16 starts. Rory's 2022 was great, but you know what could have made it even greater? A major tournament win. After Scheffler denied him the Masters, Rory put himself in the race for the 2022 Open Championship. Sharing the 54-hole lead with Viktor Hovland, it looked like Rory was about to break the curse. But by the end of the 72nd hole, he'd lost it to Cameron Smith. At the US Open, the sand was his enemy, and Rory finished tied for 5th. But don't worry, Rory made it pay.
That's just darn near impossible to figure out how that ball's going to...
As for the PGA Championship, he managed an 8th place on the leaderboard, making it top 8 finishes in all 4 major tournaments. Apart from doing better than most on the PGA Tour, he also made it to the top of the DP World Tour rankings. In Europe, he posted 4 straight top 4 finishes to claim number 1 for the 4th time in his career. Without knowing what the numbers say, it's obvious McIlroy was ahead of his peers in several areas. Based on data from Data Golf, Rory beat the entire PGA Tour roster in strokes gained with 2.12. Matt Fitzpatrick was a far second with 1.79. He also became the 3rd player to achieve a scoring average below 68.7 with 68.67. The other 2 guys are Vijay Singh, who did it in 2003, and Tiger, who has done it 8 times. And why does Tiger always get to have the most outrageous numbers? 2022 was also the first year Rory finished in the top 20 for strokes gained by putting. If you think it's not much of a deal, check this out. Rory finished 16th in 2022, but placed 66th in 2021 for the same stats. The 3 trophies he added to his collection in 2022 upgraded him to number 28th on the all-time winners list, and after 119 weeks since his fall from number 1, he returned to the top of the pile on the official World Golf Rankings. We know what you're thinking. What a year, right? Still, 2022 brought something else about Rory to light: his leadership. For a long time, Rory never shied away from hot topics. He always said his piece no matter what. For instance, when LIV first raised its head in 2020 with the Premier Golf League, Rory immediately rejected it. Before the 2020 WGC Mexico Championship, he said, "I read a thing the other day where it said if you take the money, they can tell you what to do. So if you don't take the money, they can't tell you what to do. And I think that's my thing. I've never been one for being told what to do, and I like to have that autonomy and freedom over my career, and I feel like I would give that up by going to play this other league. For me, I'm out. My position is I'm against it until there may come a day that I can't be against it. If everyone else goes, I might not have a choice. But at this point, yeah, I don't like what they're proposing." And when the first set of PGA Tour defectors left for LIV, he was the first to let them know their exile status. He told the BBC, "I think at this stage, if you go over and play on a different tour, then go over and play on a different tour," McIlroy said. "You're sort of basically leaving all your peers behind to go make more money, which is fine, but just go over there. Don't try and come back and play over here again." This whole having your cake and eating it type thing is what the resentment stems from within the membership. And Rory has never stopped attacking the LIV idea or defending the DP World Tour and the PGA. Rory is a mix of bold and petty. He even found a way to drag Greg Norman into the news after he passed him for the most PGA Tour wins. He told CBS Sports after he won the Canadian Open,
"Long time. 21st PGA Tour win, one more than someone else."
It was a definite dig at Norman, who only got 20 PGA trophies in his career. And just to show how much he disliked the Shark, he added, "That gave me a little bit of extra incentive today, and I'm happy to get it done." Alongside Chairman Jay Monahan, Tiger Woods, and Justin Thomas, he has helped shape a new PGA Tour, and his selection as the Players Advisory Council chairman couldn't have been more timely. Even his Ryder Cup captain Luke Donald had something to say about his leadership abilities. He said, "He is getting many questions asked. He is one of those people who does not back off and will tell you how he feels. He has stepped up as a leader. It is difficult being someone at the top of the game. You are working hard on that, so to do both and to juggle that is pretty impressive." In a year Rory led the PGA Tour on and off the course, Tiger still pipped him to the Player Impact Program. While Tiger took home the $15 million top prize, Rory couldn't complain about his $12 million gift for being the new voice of golf. If you enjoyed this video about Rory McIlroy's 2022, check out the video on the screen now, or the one we posted below. We're sure you'll like that one too. See you there.